Hey guys, Nick Menace here. Just wanted to come at you with a video on my thoughts on what's going on in the world right now. I know a lot of you are posting a lot of comments on YouTube, Facebook, and talking to me over Messenger and stuff. And I just wanted in this video to tell you my views on what's going on, what sort of things you can do to your Google campaigns if you're running Google ads or any ads for that. And then just how to rise and thrive in this environment, because there's some potentially tougher times coming our way financially and even impacting all aspects of our life. And I want all you guys to stay safe, stay healthy, and continue to make a living online, because there's some real good advantages that we have at the moment, but also some disadvantages that are going against us. And I really want to show you guys, I guess, one, what I think about it, or what's going on, and two, what you can do about it, and even just a little bit about investing and everything that I'm interested in and the reasons you follow me. Okay, so guys, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. It's really going to help the algorithm, help me deliver you more content so you see it and so other people see it, basically. Let's get into the video and I'll share all my thoughts on what's going on, and I hope you enjoy it. Stay tuned to the end, guys, because I want to talk to you a bit more about how I'm going to communicate and some new things that are coming out and how I'm planning to structure my content going forward. So let's get into the video. This is totally unscripted, guys, but rather than you listening to people on the internet that have got no idea what their backgrounds are or what their specialty is, I'd obviously like to tell you a bit about what my specialty is and what I see out there in the world, okay? So I read a lot about economics, and I studied economics at university. So I've got a Bachelor of International Business, and I took a lot of economic subjects there. It's a topic that really fascinates me. And so a lot of what I approach all this stuff through is an economic lens, an investing lens, and then how a business will function in that environment. And so not only am I university qualified, but I've got a lot of business experience, probably a lot more than a lot of the so-called, I guess, YouTube gurus out there who I don't want to associate myself with in any way. But who I obviously don't consider myself as one of those. I just try to be a person that gives you guys accurate info. So what I'm seeing out there is, this to me is worse than the GFC, in the sense that businesses weren't entirely closing during the GFC unless they went bust due to not being able to pay their business requirements, whether it's loans, staff expenses, and things like that, like Lehman Brothers collapsing. So a lot of you probably aren't old enough to remember what happened back then. So this is a totally different scenario, and the way it impacts you is going to depend what space you play in. Now, for example, in the e-commerce online marketing space, I've got a store that sells things like baby wipes and eco-friendly baby products, and they're doing really well at the moment. There's other people, though, where purchases are a lot more, I guess, considered. It's a much bigger expense. Like, I have a gutter protection company, a gutter cleaning business as well. And both of those people, because they don't provide essential services or services that are currently in demand, they're struggling. So they're struggling a lot, and no matter what I do to their ads aren't working, okay? So there's not much I can do on my end. This is an economic impact outside of that. And so me, out of the kindness of my heart, I go, let's pause the ads. Let's not worry about anything. Let's pause it and pick it back up when things improve, or when we have a bit more certainty. Because the reason things are going crazy right now, guys, is there's absolutely no certainty. People don't know when they're going to be allowed back out if they're in quarantine. People don't know what businesses are allowed to function. There's a lot of uncertainty around the rules and regulations. Like, I've got a member in my course. He's actually in the city I'm in right now, and I said, let's go and catch up. He can't catch up with me because he's currently in quarantine, because Australia says, if you come from another country, even if you're Australian, you've got to go into 14 days of quarantine, which is great. We do not want this to spread, right? The main reason people are doing these restrictions, is they want to flatten the curve. So if we have everyone going to hospital at once, not that everyone's going to die, but it's going to put an unnecessary amount of resources, an unnecessary strain on the resources of these hospitals. And so we don't have enough ventilators to meet those requirements if everyone goes in there at once. And obviously we're trying to protect those that are at risk, people with immune system issues, and the elderly, the two main groups that are obviously having issues. Anyway, the person that is in my group, I can't catch up with him, obviously, but he goes to me, they haven't actually told me what I am and am not allowed to do. Okay, so I'm in confinement, I'm in isolation, but how do I go and get food? The delivery times for our supermarkets at the moment are blowing out to over a week, because people are hoarding and they're getting ridiculous. 18 months of toilet paper was sold in Australia. in 2 weeks, which is crazy. This is way bigger even than Christmas, okay? Now, what people don't realize is this is now going to impact prices. Prices of all these things are going to skyrocket, and then the people that are vulnerable and have either left to the last minute or haven't been able to get there, they're going to be paying through the roof for this stuff. So the economic impacts of this are big. Now, what you can do to alleviate some of this, guys, is actually just bunker down, and whatever you're doing well, do it even better. Improve your customer service, okay? If your ad accounts have wasted fat or aren't performing as best as possible, go in and chop those campaigns or those products out that just weren't performing before, and they were like borderline. And everyone does this. I've got some products, and even I get attached to certain things and go, even with other people's businesses, and I go, oh, I think it's going to work, just because I think it's going to work. And it doesn't necessarily mean it will just because I think so. But what you can go in is go and cut that fat. Go and lower your bids, because what you're going to see is people are going to pull back on advertising. And if you're bidding too high, you're going to be overbidding and paying too much. You're not going to need to bid in most instances as high. Now, in some scenarios, sales are going through the roof. Certain products people are selling, as I said, baby wipes, things like that. And in other non-discretionary spending, if it's low ticket, it actually isn't doing too bad, okay? It hasn't slowed down as much as people think. People are at home bored and people are buying. Just because times get tough, people don't stop buying entirely. Things just dial back. Now, big purchases, like my dad runs a painting business. It's a non-essential service that, for the most part, I guess unless it's a new property and it needs to move into and built, but people aren't going to stop painting entirely. For his business, what I'm going to do, I'm going to improve his SEO. I'm going to improve his content. I'm going to knuckle down and get as many reviews as possible. I'm going to rely on things like free traffic, like Google My Business. I tell so many businesses to set up Google My Business, and not one of them believes me that it's a good avenue. And that thing brings my old man like 1,200 visits a month, right? Or more. Depends. And he gets like 25, 30 phone calls for free. So leads per month, totally free through Google My Business. Okay. Like I get a bunch through my agency just through Google My Business. What I'm going to do is I'm going to reach out to many of you. And if I've helped you in any way, can you please leave a comment below, and I'll actually give you my link to give my Google My Business a review. It's going to help me a lot. Okay. I'm already starting to see on my client side. Yesterday I lost 2 clients, but I picked 2 clients up. Today, I called a client telling them the ads aren't performing very well. Let's keep an eye on it, but it looks like we may need to pause it for a little while, okay? There's so many things you can do, guys, to knuckle down, especially in e-commerce. Now, if your shipping times are blowing out because you're trying to use ePacket is having serious issues, okay? It's getting stopped in customs, and in some instances, it's not even running at all. So there are other shipping methods you can get. But guys, please let this be a lesson to you of 1, build a brand, and 2, control your supply chain. The biggest issue people are having is they don't control any of that. And that's the downfall of most drop shippers. They're not controlling their supply chain. Source some products locally, see what you can get. And Google's the best avenue for this, guys. Google, with some basic Facebook retargeting, you can sell almost anything. Okay, other than what they restrict, you can sell almost anything. So it's the perfect avenue to sell it. Jump on Google Shopping. I've got so many tutorials on this channel, and I'm going to keep pumping out content. If I end up with a bit more time, I'm going to love it. I'll tell you why. Because 1, I've saved for this, and I don't mind. Even if I go 6 months with barely any income coming in, my lifestyle is still going to be exactly the same. Now, what I might do is I might actually move back in with my parents, save the money, save the $500 a week I'm paying in rent, and put that towards, you know what? When I see property prices start to bottom out, I'll go and buy another property. Okay. What I'm going to do with my own property is I'm going to keep my rent as is. I'm going to help my tenants out, and I'm going to keep my property rent as is and rent it out to them for another year at the exact same rate, even though, to be honest, it's very cheap and I could get more, but I don't want to be greedy. Okay, I want to help them as well. Guys, other things you can do is just focus on that customer service and on improving that customer offering. Are you doing proper email follow-up with orders? Do you have an easy to find contact us page? Is your contact details on there correct? Is it so easy? You need to make it super easy for people to get in touch with you, especially if you're getting long shipping times. Now is the time to focus on getting local products in your home country or wherever you're selling, or finding an agent to ship products quicker. I've got stores where products are getting to America in 7 days, even though they're coming from China. Okay. I get the same day of shipment, and we have faster shipping methods, and it gets to the customer quicker. Now, the average order value for that store is around $250, so we can afford to wear that cost. Yeah, we've got some great upsells in place. We're able to wear that cost on that store. People who are going to struggle in this, guys, are the ones that are going to freak out. They're not going to focus on what they do well, and just blatantly, the businesses that shouldn't have been around, especially in e-commerce and the digital marketing space, every second person was just opening a digital marketing agency or becoming a freelancer with absolutely no experience, burning businesses, burning ad spend for nothing, and really giving people a bad taste of what it means to be a digital marketer. Same with dropshippers. People dropshipping have completely turned people off, and I've been showing people and telling people you're able to source products locally for so long. I've got a client, we're actually good friends as well. I actually saw him in a library, right? I saw him in a library for the first time in ages. I had a look at his Google account. Someone else was managing it. And dear God, they had not done anything. Here's a really easy way to pick up clients, guys. Have a look, do account audits for free, right? I do so many account audits. You go into the person's account when auditing, and for those people in my course, I'm going to be releasing a bunch of templates on how I audit an account and the checklist you need. So all the businesses that deserve to be around will continue to be around after this. It sounds harsh, but it's the truth. People can make it through this. People should have saved and had some sort of a buffer. Like airlines are a good example. They're terribly run businesses, but you know what the offset is and people don't understand? We get cheap flights out of it, and that's why they run those business models like that. They've opened up flights. People who had never been able to afford to fly before can. Amazing things happen during these times, guys, and I want to give you guys some hope that no matter what you're doing, what position you're in, find yourself an income, no matter what it is. Focus on that side business, and I suggest having at the very least 2 forms of income. I always aim to have 5 to 7. Most people say that the most successful people have minimum of 7 sources of income. At the moment, I'm sitting around 5 or 6 for the most part, and trying to add more to that constantly. So guys, I know this video has probably been a little bit all over the place, but I just wanted to share with you guys what's happening. One more thing, future-wise, what I see is do not buy stocks yet. This is obviously not financial advice, and one of the things I want to do in this time is actually to create a stock market channel, but just wait. No one knows what these companies' earnings are going to be. So earnings are going to be terrible in next earnings seasons. For at least the next 6 months, I don't see them having good earnings, right? So Apple's closed stores and stuff like that. So wait and see what these companies report and then buy into the ones that have obviously maintained and given good results but dropped a lot, or things with a high beta. And high beta means that they overreact to market movements, right? So on the downside and on the upside. So the things that have a high beta, they are going to absolutely skyrocket once all this stimulus that is being pumped into these countries. So our Reserve Bank here is dropping rates likely to 0, and they're doing quantitative easing just like in the US, something they've never done before. So we're still probably at least 3 months before being able to buy stocks. With your campaigns, guys, so guys, please post in my Facebook group, post in the comments below. I'm noticing my reach really drop in the Facebook group. So I'm actively pursuing Instagram and growing that. And you're going to see a lot more day-to-day what I do. Okay, so if you're interested in seeing what I do day to day, getting some questions answered, making it a bit more interactive, please jump on there. Follow me on Instagram. It's just Nick Armenis, Nikarmenis, all one word. Follow me on there, and I will make sure that I try and make it an enjoyable experience for you. I'm trying to get better on video. I'm not the greatest on video, so try and improve on that and give you guys some great content. So stay tuned. I'm doing a revised Google Shopping video. I'm going to try and drop that sometime this week. And then for those of you in my course, I am releasing the high ticket module very, very soon, and tidying it up a bit and making that course a bit more, I guess, coherent and sticking to that main focus of mastering Google. That's the aim of the course is going to be how to become the best possible person you can be at Google. So how to be the best in the world at running Google ads for e-commerce. And that's what I want to teach you. Okay. So thanks so much for listening, guys, and stay tuned for more content coming soon. Guys, like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. See ya.